Hello, and welcome to the Trauma Series. In today's video, we're going to explore grief as a multidimensional process, one that's not only emotional, but physical, mental, and spiritual. Who am I? I'm Fiona, founder of Nature vs. Nurture, the Envision System, and the Professional Peer. I have both professional and personal experience with trauma as a mental health provider, an advocate, and with the recovery from burnout. I created the Envision System as a means of prevention, well-being, and living well to address what ails us and help people to help themselves and others to become the best that they can be. Through the Envision System, we recognize grief as a universal experience that touches every part of our humanity. This framework is designed to bring greater understanding to how we experience, process, and integrate the loss and trauma of it. Grief is not limited to the death of a loved one. It can arise from the loss of identity, health, connection, safety, or even hope. As a peer sport practitioner, I approach grief not as a condition to be treated, but as a spontaneous whole-body impulse to be appreciated and supported. It is not pathology. It is a reflection of what mattered and how that loss affected us. The biomedical model still dominates most of our Western healthcare systems. It sees illness as a physical, mental, or chemical problem, and treatment is usually about controlling symptoms with medications. Originally proposed as part of the Kubler-Ross model, these 7 stages offer a nonlinear framework for understanding common grief responses. These stages may overlap, repeat, or appear in different order depending on the person, context, or type of loss experienced. One may also get stuck within the cycle, and it could be considered a larger trauma event. Shock often occurs immediately following a loss. It serves a protective function, allowing the mind and body to temporarily disengage from overwhelming emotion. In the Envision System framework, we view this as nature-based responses, the nervous system acting as a buffer. Denial is not denial of truth. It is the mind's way of pacing emotional processing. It may involve avoidance, intellectualization, or disconnection. Here, nurture plays a role. How we were taught to face difficulty often shapes whether we lean into or away from reality. Anger, often misunderstood or suppressed, but it is a valid and necessary emotion in the grief process. It can indicate a sense of betrayal, a relationship disrupted, or expectations left unmet. A peer approach does not judge this response. It holds space for it. This stage can be quiet and internal. It often involves revisiting the past and trying to regain a sense of control. We may reflect on what could have been done differently, or imagine alternative outcomes. This is a way of processing mentally that can be exhausting and feel endless. Depression in grief is normal and appropriate response to the permanent change. Don't let anyone tell you differently. If you find yourself having difficulties or your grief is too overwhelming, perhaps seeing a professional can be helpful. This stage often goes unnoticed. It includes the trial and error process of finding new routines, support strategies, or meaning. In peer support, we notice these moments as early signs of integration. The self is slowly finding footing again. Acceptance. It doesn't mean everything is all right or forgetting our loss. It means recognizing the loss as part of one's life narrative. This is often where village comes in. The people, places, and practices that support our return to meaning, purpose, connection, and life. In the Envision system, nature represents the body's wisdom and the physiological impact of grief. V represents village and reflects the support systems we have or long for during grief. S is for self, the deeply personal, internal experience, the thoughts, feelings, and identity shifts that can occur. Nurture includes family norms, cultural expectations, learned responses, and how we care for each other through tough times and adversities, like grief. Grief may never completely disappear, but it evolves. Over time, we learn to carry it differently. With reflection, support, time, and space to feel, grief can shift from something that burdens to something that shapes and changes us, hopefully for the better. Here are a few questions to reflect on. These are not questions for fixing, but for awareness. In peer support, we believe naming our experience can lead to clarity, and clarity, intention, and self-awareness is the beginning of change for the better. Whether you are navigating a recent loss or something long burdened, know this: your experience matters. You don't need to grieve alone. The Peer Playground and the Envision system exists for exactly these moments, to walk beside, to bear witness, and to remind you that healing is possible. If today's video felt meaningful to you, there are ways to stay connected. This isn't just information, it's a foundation for reclaiming wholeness. Let's keep learning, healing, and living well together. If you're still with me, thank you. That means you showed up for something real. Healing isn't about being perfect, it's about being willing and keen. You've already done the hardest part, surviving up until now. Now we get to nurture our inner nature, create something softer, yet stronger, and more honest underneath. Let me show you how.